Welcome guys, and in this video we are going to be talking about chronic pain and specifically how it affects your mental health. I'm going to say right from the top here that I'm not a medical professional. I never claimed to be a medical professional. I'm just going to be sitting here as a person living with chronic pain, speaking from my own lived experiences directly to you guys who presumably have found this video because either one, you're in pain and your mental health is struggling, you want validation that maybe it's not just you. Secret it's not, or you're interested, you're trying to support somebody else, you're trying to understand the links. So no medical professional, no, I'm not going to baffle you with stats and statistics. There's not going to be any cuts in this. It's going to be a single take, me just talking to you from the heart on a week where I'm having a really bad week with my pain and therefore my mental health is suffering. And I want people to understand that that link is real and it's nothing you did wrong. And there is a reason why you might be off work or have to cancel because of your pain. And a few days later, that turns into low mood, depression, negative thoughts and mental health challenges such as anxiety. So welcome to the channel. My name is Joel. If you have not been here before, hello, big warm welcome. I am a psoriatic disease, arthritis, chronic pain and men's mental health advocate. I do lots of stuff around that. Check out the other videos on the channel. I'll probably put something up. I'm probably pointing to the wrong corner because I don't know what I'm doing, where you can get that link to some other playlists where that you might find some videos that are of benefit. But yeah, so I live with something called psoriatic associated JIA. Essentially, I had juvenile idiopathic arthritis as a child. It's now known that it's psoriatic arthritis, but because of my age of onset, I have to call myself juvenile for the rest of my life. And I have lots of pain. I had a situation a few years ago with a treatment change where I was left in permanent pain, and that still sticks around. So as my understanding of it is even on the days when I'm not flaring, when my condition is well managed, I will still experience pain in some of the areas where I had a flare for a very long time. And that weighed heavily on my mind. I've been suicidal, I've been depressed, I'm probably depressed this week. I've had to go through all of the stigma around that and all of the whole, but you look well, or when I've called in sick because of pain and then 2 or 3 days later had to explain that actually my pain's good now, but I can't come back because I haven't slept for 3 days, or I'm having such crippling negative thoughts that I'm really having to fight a battle to stay with everyone and not do anything stupid. And I say stupid, I'm having a bad week with my mental health, which is why I'm making this video. And I tend to be quite self-derogatory, is that a term? Who knows? I don't even know I'm doing it half the time, so no offense when I say things like that. Please know the mental space that I'm in at the moment means that I'm likely to call myself stupid, an idiot, because that's kind of what my brain does when I'm having negative thoughts, low mood. So yes, I've been in pain since Tuesday. I got a bad back, which was why you might see me shuffle a little bit. And like I say, it's one of those things. I'm in pain every other week from one thing or another. Different parts of my body will flare. At the minute it's my back. I think it was triggered by my dog being a little bit enthusiastic on his walk. And then it tends to lead on to other things. I walk a little bit off centre or something, then it might cause me to have a foot or a knee problem, etc. But what happens is, eventually, I get mentally tired. I get fatigued of managing that pain, living with that pain. I can sometimes describe it as being in like a panic room. I sort of go from managing pain well, and I'll do lots of creative things. I'll make videos, I'll make a podcast, I'll play my guitars, listen to music. I've got lots of ways that are normally around sort of creative angles of managing my pain. But there's only so much somebody can take. And after a couple of days and maybe some broken sleep and some other sort of maybe life events happen, that then starts turning more towards being a mental health problem. And nobody talks about that. I go to my routine medical appointments for my long-term health condition. Nobody's asking me how I'm feeling, how I'm coping, what my support network looks like, how's my mental health, how's my mood. No one asks that, and we know why they don't ask it. One, time is limited. Two, they're not equipped to deal with the answer. I don't blame doctors at all. I know the challenges they face, the restrictions and pressures they're under. They are not equipped for me to suddenly, I'm suicidal, or I've got these negative thoughts. Because there's no multidisciplinary approach. We're working towards that. We campaign hard. One of the things I do as an advocate is campaign hard for that, but we're not there yet. So nobody's asking me about my mental health, therefore I have to find out on my own how I deal with it. So the idea of this video is just to, one, acknowledge it. So if you're watching this and you're thinking, oh, my mental health struggles and I don't know what I did wrong, you didn't do anything wrong. You know, life sucks. I'm trying not to swear for the algorithm. Life sucks, and it's not always fair. And we often blame ourselves. You turn to social media or go to Instagram or somewhere, and there's people who are very quick to tell you you did something wrong. It was something you ate, something you didn't eat, something you moved too much, you didn't move enough, all this sort of thing. And we live in this world where people are very quick to tell you that you caused your chronic illness, and therefore you caused detrimental effects on your mental health. And it's wrong. You didn't. You know, it's just chemicals in the brain doing their thing, and a person is a human. We make mistakes. Sometimes we break, sometimes we don't need a reason what caused these problems. So I've been struggling. You know, I've done all the right things. I've done all my creative stuff. I've been out walking. I've listened to music. I've made time for me. I've took my foot off the pedal of work, which brings its own challenges because I then feel guilty about doing that. And yet I still experienced low mood. I still had poor mental health. And so now I talk about my pain in the same context, the same line as my mental health, because the two are intertwined. I've never had mental health challenges when I'm not in pain, yet they're not treated as one and the same or as two sides of the same coin. So I hope by me making this video helps people understand that it's not just you. It happens to all of us. And I maybe just want to go into a little bit of detail what that looks like, because people think, well, you're here talking, you look confident, how can you possibly be struggling with your mental health? Well, I don't want to do anything. I'm spending my evenings just staring at some rubbish on Netflix I'm not really into. I stopped going out. I stopped doing the things that keep me well. You know, playing my guitar, listening to music, being creative. I stopped making videos on YouTube. I've had to really push myself to do this one whilst I'm in the moment, because it's the last thing I want to do. Like I even said to my wife, who's sitting downstairs, who's seen all of these videos 100 times, oh, can you watch something on your phone or something? Because I'm so conscious at the minute. My confidence is so low. I'm so conscious of her overhearing me record this, which is mad. It's absolutely stupid. I've been doing this for years now. I speak on stages and do all this sort of thing. So why would I be worried about my wife overhearing it? But that is the place you get into. You get worried about people saying hello to you on the dog walk because you just don't want to engage. You want to close off. So, you know, anxiety and lack of sleep comes into it because they're over worrying, overstimulated. You're just thinking through 101 scenarios. And you have this like runaway negative thought pattern. Again, I'm not medically trained. It's just personal experience. So I wanted people to understand that then things are so intertwined. They're inseparable. You can't separate them. And like I say, so what does my coping mechanisms look like? I'm doing this all in one take. There would normally be a chapter there, but we're not. We're doing it all in one take because I kind of want this to be raw and honest and real and kind of talking straight down the camera to you guys at home that are in a similar position. So like I say, I've mentioned the creative side. That's really important to me. I find if I'm stimulating the creative part of my brain, it stops the negative thought sides from taking over. It also helps me to look and see I've produced something. I don't know why, but for me, producing something is really important. If I can say, oh, I made a video, I wrote a song, I wrote a poem, I don't know, for you it might be got that job done around the house that's been waiting for months, or, you know, hung that picture or whatever that might look like. But for me, I have to be able to, I'm quite a creative arty kind of person. I like to say, right, look what I made. Feel better about yourself, Joel. You know, you did something today. For you, it might just be having a shower. It might just be taking the dog for a longer walk and getting outside in nature. Nature's a really helpful thing for me. It really helps me. It gives me thinking time, it gives me space, it removes the pressure I maybe feel, and a lot of that is self-imposed when I'm in a sort of negative thought, low mood kind of place. So nature helps. Get to the beach, get to the forest, whatever that looks like. You know, they're my two go-to places, but they might be different for you. For other people, it's playing sport, exercising, running, moving. You know, your body naturally produces those feel-good chemicals when you do exercise. And again, it's that sense of achievement. You can look on your health app or your smartwatch or whatever it might be if you record these things and say, look what I did today despite those challenges. So for me, it's about trying to remove me outside of that over worrying, over negative thought, sort of low mood space. Even if it's just for a moment, guys, if you can do that for an hour, that's 1 hour your brain is getting a break or focusing on something else. And you'll probably find when you're doing that stuff, it's the same things that help with chronic pain. I know it is for me. If I'm doing that creative stuff, then I'm not focusing on the pain. I don't have the same capacity to focus on the pain. And it works for low mood and negative thoughts too. So that's worth giving a go. Like I say, exercise, just to recap, exercise, creativity, getting outside in nature, those things all really work well for me. Writing is one that works for a lot of people as well, being crafty, you know, whether that might be cross stitch or something that you might do. Those things all help. But the other thing you need to do is get really good at advocating for yourself and finding those resources. All the things that I've learned over the years to help me manage my mental health have not been prescribed to me. They've all been things I've had to, quite, you know, sadly, I've had to go out and find. Pain management is a huge part of my life. Pain management therapy really changed things. I'm doing all of this today and being an advocate because of pain management, because I took something really negative and found a way of, I don't know, maybe I can't change my own system. Told you there's going to be no edits. That's the first time. We got 10 minutes in, that's the first time. Maybe I can't change my own situation, but I can use it to try and create hope for other people, and that makes me feel better about myself, and therefore it unloads the burden of my disease. So yeah, pain management and pain management therapy was a huge thing, but I had to find it myself. Social prescribing, you know, social prescribing is huge. Go look that up if you're not familiar with it in your country or whatever. It's only now taking off in the UK. Massive thing, you know, gardening, social clubs, activities that get you with other people that just get it. One of the reasons I created a Discord and a peer support community is because social prescribing taught me how important that stuff was. And again, it's about getting that break from yourself, from your situation, from your condition, being around other people that understand. So you don't have to explain, you don't need to, you know, have a conversation or say sorry, I've got to go, or I need to rest, or all them sort of things that can be a little embarrassing for us. Despite doing it over tens of years, I still find myself getting clammy trying to have those conversations. So that stuff's out there. CBT, I really should have. I haven't got notes. CBT, go look it up. Cognitive behavioural therapy. There we go. Got there in the end. Worry management. Worry management was amazing for me. I never even knew that thing existed. Another thing I did was disability adjustment training. If you found yourself suddenly have an onset of disability, or in my situation, things got worse and I lost my mobility, it was unplanned. Disability adjustment training, sometimes it's called disability impact training. Amazing, absolutely amazing. Just getting you to talk through that situation and getting over that grief period, because a lot of what we deal with mentally with chronic pain is grief. You know, it's the missing out, the things we used to do that we can't do anymore, the letting people down, the worry about work and finances and careers, and I'm running out of fingers here, the burden on families when we can't do something, you know, if we're stuck in bed or whatever that might look like. So yeah, go look up disability impact training or disability adjustment training. It's amazing. It was great for me. So they're just some of the things I've tried, guys. I'm going to stop talking now because I feel like we're already got past the point where I've probably lost your interest. If you're still with me now, thank you. Also, sorry, because if you're still with me now, you're probably all too aware of what I'm talking about and can relate to the situation. Know that you're not alone. Know that it was not your fault. Know that help is out there. It might not feel like it. You might go see your rheumatologist or your gynae or your gastro doctor, or I'm trying to think of all the other doctors, your neurologist, all these people, and none of them are asking you about how you're feeling and your mental health and your mood, and you might feel therefore no one's interested. There are lots of people out there interested. There are lots of people out there that can help. I've listed just a handful of them that have helped me. Go look it up. I'll see if I can put some links in the description. Also, guys, go check out my Discord. There'll be a link in the show notes where there's lots of people that can signpost you to those resources as well for your location. We've got lots of people from around the world in there, and ultimately it's also a peer support community. So if you're having a bad day, there's people that do watch parties on there, there's people that play computer games together, anything to distract and escape is such a key way of me handling my poor mental health from being in chronic pain. Distraction and escapism are huge for me, so go check that out. There'll be a link down below. And thank you for listening, guys. I'm sorry if you're in that situation. If you're a caregiver or somebody who's interested watching this to try and help others, you're a superstar. Thank you. Caregivers are so often overlooked. Without my caregivers support network, etc., I wouldn't be here today. Fact. It's not over exaggerating, just fact. And I hope you appreciated this one take dialogue, which I think there was just one mistake, maybe one mistake. If you spot more, let me know in the comments. Guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a like and share it with anyone you think it might help. And if you'd like to see more videos like this of me sharing my personal experience, very raw, candidly, it's kind of what my advocacy is. I don't really know any other way. You're not going to get lots of flashing stuff and effects. You should be, second mistake, think yourself thankful that there's coloured lights in the background, because I'm very much a firm believer in let's just share our stories, tell it like it is, and gut punch people into the reality of what it's like living with chronic illness and chronic pain and mental health challenges. Thank you so much for listening, and I will be back soon. Bye bye.